Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, February 9th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly. Just got a few things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right. All right, a couple more things here, and I think we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Perfect. Looks good. All right, so I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. All right, cool. Let's see who's here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today's Thursday, February 9th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. I'll give a few more moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started with our analysis for today. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Ben Harwig. Morning, David. Morning, Søren. Morning, Peter. Morning, Martha. Morning, Kenny. Hey, Song, how's it going? Morning, Maddie. Morning, Karen. Morning, everybody. So looks like half you guys are here so far. I'll give it a few more moments for people to join in. Still waiting for my 400K FTMO account, guys. So I'm not going to be trading on FTMO for a while. I just have my MFS right now. So I can't trade on my FTMO because I'm waiting for them to process my 400K live account. They said it's going to take about 4 days. So I'll be waiting for that. I'm only on my MFF, no longer using my TFF because it's going to be impossible for me to like bounce back unless I'm taking bigger moves. So I'm probably just going to use my my TFF for longer trades. Possibly even just a breakout, just take it and hold on to it. But for the most part, I'm only using my MFFs right now. Hopefully I set my copiers up right because I haven't done that in a while where I made the MFF my main account. So we'll see. But yeah, other than that, guys, yeah, Maddie said that sentiment 69%. Morning, Rashida. All right, so let's take a look at the higher time frames real quick. So looking over here on the 1 hour, 30-minute, and 10-minute time frames, you can see that price here is bullish. And the reason why it's bullish is because we have a bullish trend here on the 1 hour. Price is above the pivots. Pivots are angling up, and the trend meter is green. We have the same thing here on the 30-minute. Price above the pivots, trend meter green, pivots angling up. And lastly, here on the 10-minute, the same exact thing, right? So looking at the breakout 2.0, you'll probably be looking to take a buy today. However, price is very overextended. So if you guys can see here, price has been pushing up since yesterday noon. So yesterday, 12 o'clock lunchtime, right before market close, price has been pushing up super heavy. So this might be a little bit of an issue. I don't know how big of an issue it'll be because, price may just continue to push up or price may retrace back. However, price is currently raging right now. So this would be the breakout 2.0 right here. I mean, typically you probably want to use a 1,000 pip TP stop loss because I think 1,500 might be too much. If you guys remember from yesterday, the thing wasn't even moving the entire session. So I'll have this marked up here if you guys do want to take it. Again, I'm not going to be taking it myself because I don't want to tie up my margin on the specific trade when I'd rather just be taking scalps in between. So I'll leave this marked up here for breakout 2.0. Looking over here on the shorter time frames, the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute, you can see that the 10-minute is currently bullish because price is above the pivots. Trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Here on the 5-minute, price is currently neutral because price is in between the pivots. Trend meter is currently blue, and the pivots are going sideways. Lastly, here on the 1-minute, price is also neutral because price has just been ranging up and down pretty much all morning since 5:30 a.m. So let me check the news real quick to see if there's anything that I missed. And then we should be good to go. So today over here on Thursday, we had news pre-market, 5:30 unemployment claims. That's kind of what pushed price to the upside right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that up on that candle, 5:30, right there, that's news price. We have more news over here at 7:30, and I think that's about it. So we got news over here at 7:30. Let me just check my FX book real quick to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. But market is opening in about 10 seconds. So if market opens over here, again, breakout 2.0 should be right there. And market is now open, guys. So there goes the breakout 2.0 as it pushes up. Let me check my FX book real quick to see if there's any other news here. That's about it. Okay, 7:30. All right, price just rejected directly off the sessions right here. You can see this purple line. Price came up, spiked directly off the sessions. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price right here as well. Let's see, it's blue. NYSE open price. All right, so price is shooting up pretty heavy. Here's the breakout 2.0. I'll just put an alert there. So if it does hit, I'll let you guys know. If you guys are taking it, I'd probably move my stop loss and profit. I'm not in the position, so it's not an account, but probably something you want to check out. If you get a strong green candle here on the 1-minute, this would technically be a regular breakout to breakout 1.0. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, Rashida, morning. Morning, Ruin. Morning, Nice. Morning, Geary. Morning, AR. Morning, T. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, so market is now open. We'll see where price is going. Looks like we're looking for buys today. It's pretty much bullish on the higher time frames, 1 hour, 30-minute, 10-minute, bullish on all those time frames. Also bullish here on the 5-minute and 1-minute. So we're definitely looking for buys here, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and maximize this. I'll turn on my alerts as well so that we can be aware, when these signals come up. So we're currently possibly looking for buys right now, not in any positions. Breakout 2.0 is currently running right now, but you can see prices rejecting directly off the purple line over here, which is the Asia high. This is another reminder why we don't trade at these red flags. Again, red flags are when any of these horizontal lines. So the purple line, blue line, green line, pink line, red line, etc. We don't trade at any of those points because you can see how price gets highly manipulated whenever price gets near these points, right? So right here, this purple line, the price came up on open, rejected directly off it, came back up, rejected off it again, and then it spiked down super heavy. So again, I'll put the requirements up here for the strategies that we're applying: the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp. Just those 3 strategies right there. We're looking to hopefully cash at least one good trade today. We've had a pretty rocky 30 days so far, I guess you can say, because the market's just been choppy pretty much every day. No direction. Hopefully today we get some direction, but I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to make sure I have, a solid entry, and I'll take an entry if I see something there. But anyways, no entries right now. See if price comes back up further. All right, so this technically right here would have been the breakout 1.0, regular breakout, if you guys are familiar with that strategy. Not in this position right here. It's going to mark it up for you guys. So just a reminder, guys, these are not official strategies that we're applying on the live session. I marked up the breakout 2.0 right here, which is currently in profit. And then this one right here would be the breakout 1.0. The reason for that is because we have a we have a bullish bias with regard to trend. Prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up across the board here on the 5, 10, and 1. So we have that covered. We have a bullish bias, and then we have a strong green candle right here. So technically this is a breakout 1.0. I'm not taking this trade. I'm just marking it up for you guys if you guys are curious. But again, just remember, guys, for the official strategies that we're applying here in the live session, it's just these 3 strategies, right? It's just the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp. I just want to mark this up for you guys in case you guys are wondering if that would be the breakout. Breakout 1.0, I'll put up the requirements over here. All right, so first you want to look for entry after New York Stock Exchange open 6:30 a.m. This is the opening price. Confirm bias, it's bullish. Confirm momentum, it's bullish as well. Confirm a strong candle in the direction of momentum. It's right there. So that's why you would enter this as the breakout 1.0. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this off because I don't want to confuse you guys and have you guys think that I'm in this position when I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to go and take this off right here. I'll set up an alert if price ends up coming up there. But again, we're only looking for these entries right here. So technically, if we get a sell signal right here and it's below average on volume, which it isn't, volume here is above average, we'd have a momentum scalp failure. But we don't have that right now because if the sell signal does close, volume is already above average. So there won't be any entry for us there. And then also it's at opening price right here at red flag. Let me put the red flags up here so that you guys can remember. So red flags when to avoid trades. We avoid trades when price is near sessions, when price is near opening price, when price is near news price, when candle prior to entry is too large, and when price is ranging. So a couple of red flags there for you guys to pay attention to. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to blow my nose. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, so there's still no entries for us right now, guys. There's a sell signal that came up right here. However, the sell signal had volume that was above average. So there's no momentum scalp failure there. Again, as I mentioned, guys, typically when we have another entry that comes up after it. So for example, here, we don't have a momentum scalp failure, but even though we don't have that, we can still have a momentum scalp variation, right? But since we don't have the entry prior to it, if we do get an entry for momentum scalp variation, I'm going to hold off on it. So if you guys remembered yesterday, that's what I did, right? Because the price was so jumpy. What I was waiting for was I was waiting for price to close back above the pivot so that we can get a momentum scalp variation. However, we didn't have a momentum scalp failure before it. I typically want these to follow up. If these follow up where we have a momentum scalp failure and it's running and then it's followed by a momentum scalp variation, then in that situation, I would hop right into the trade, right? But yesterday we didn't have that. So what I did was I waited a little bit for price to, retrace down a little bit, and then it ended up going straight to stop loss after a few minutes. So if we do get a momentum scalp variation, I'm going to be holding off on it initially. I don't think we'll get one anytime soon because it's like right at opening price. So if you look at the red flags over here, when to avoid trades whenever price is near opening price, which is the blue line. So we just got to sit tight and we got to wait for some sort of direction to push out from here. Hey, Gactive, how's it going? Morning. Christian said, how are you feeling, Sean? I'm feeling all right. I'm still sick, but the sickness is progressing. So I went from like a runny nose on like Tuesday when I was on here with you guys, and then yesterday I was coughing a little bit, and then now I have a stuffy nose. So the sickness is progressing. So hopefully by next week I'll be back to normal. Yeah, I took meds, Natasha. Thanks for checking. Yeah, no, I definitely did. I don't like to take meds very much, but I guess they help for the most part. So hopefully by next week I'll be good. I'm not really too sick at all. I'm just like, I have the cough and the runny nose and the stuffy nose, etc. So my voice is kind of off today, or it's been off this whole week. But I don't really feel sick. I'm still able to function. So should be good. All right, guys, there's no direction here. As you guys can see, price just keeps going back and forth. Market opened over here at 6:30. And then after open, like literally nothing has happened. It's just going back and forth. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. Okay, so with nothing going on here, let's take a look behind the scenes. Let's see if there's anything going on over here with CNBC. All right, let's refresh CNBC. They said everything is on the table now with Hulu. Disney CEO says breaking news. All right, we'll check that in a little bit. Let's see. Biden proposal to cap all insulin prices. It's not a big deal. Well, if that's the case, it might affect like Pfizer and a couple other stocks within the US30. All right, so there's nothing really here affecting the market too much. Let's take a look at the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment right now is currently 68% short. So overall, I think long-term price will push up and will be bullish. Reason for that's because if you guys are not familiar with this website right here shows you where retail traders are trading. So it shows that 68% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So typically you want to do the opposite, right? Market makers and institutions out there typically make their money off retail traders. So with this here, if you guys can see, there's majority of traders here on the sell side. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. So we're probably gonna be looking for buys. We already are looking for buys here. So that's in confluence with our direction. So with that said, we want to trade opposite of everybody here. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for buys here. So we're looking for a buy here with regard to retail sentiment. Looking over here at the heat map. Let me refresh this real quick. All right, looking over here on the heat map. I don't know if this is updated, but looks pretty bullish to me. So looking at the heat map right here, I mean, pretty much everything here is bullish. Let me check the index. Yeah, index is currently up 261 points. So looking over here, the Dow's up a heavy amount. It's currently up 241 points. S&P's up 31 points. Nasdaq's up 128 points. Russell 2K is down 30 points, and the VIX is down about 2%. So looking at that so far, all of the indices are currently up bullish. So with that said, I think this might continue to push up even higher. However, it looks like it may be due for retracement, of course, right? Because price has been pushing up so long. If you guys remember from earlier this morning, I did mention that price has been pushing up since, let me just make this bigger. Price has been pushing up since yesterday at noon. So Wednesday, February 8th at 12 o'clock, price has been pushing up with like little to no retracement. Pushed up, consolidated, pushed up higher, consolidated. Now it's in a range. But I think eventually price will just break out of this range and just shoot up even higher. So for my guess here, I think price will continue pushing up, but at the moment, we just don't have any entry right now. This candle right here was technically a momentum scalp variation, but it was right at the opening price, right? So obvious red flag right there. But for right here, you can see that this candle right here was the momentum scalp variation. So we confirm the overall trend, it's bullish, confirm momentum on all time frames. Not on this one, but on these over here. We currently have a buy signal here as well. So with that said, we have pretty much most requirements met here. Third, confirm retracement momentum signal. We have a sell signal right here. Fourth, confirm price close past the pivots and retracement of the 1 minute price close below the pivots here. Step 5, price close past the pivots in correction, which it did right here. And that's where you'd make the entry. You would have made the entry right here on the screen candle. However, red flag over here, although it's not required, it's recommended, right? So we did have an entry right here for a momentum scalp variation, but red flags, when to avoid trades, when price is near opening price, which is this blue line right here, you'd have to break past this area here to reach your profit target, right? So that's why I would have skipped it. But if you would have taken the trade and just ignored the red flags, it would have went straight to your profit target there. It did reject off the blue line like we anticipated, but it would have blasted through your TP. So that's an entry for a momentum scalp variation. We possibly have another entry coming up here for a momentum scalp. But again, it's right at the blue line, right? You guys can see right here how price just keeps bouncing off the blue line. Look at all the wicks right here bouncing directly off this blue line. If I was to turn off all of the indicators here, you guys can see that my markup right here is where price continues to bounce off of, right? It literally keeps coming up to the blue line and comes down, comes up to the blue line, comes down. So that's why I don't trade around this area right here, even though it's, it's technically a valid entry. I don't trade around that area because I've lost a lot of trades around those points. So to prevent me from losing trades, I just don't trade around those areas at all. But I mean, it's up to you guys, right? It's really up to you if you want to take these trades. I'm already warning you guys that it's risky, but if you guys want to take it, it's really up to you. You don't have to listen to me, but I just want to give you guys a heads up so that you guys aren't surprised if you guys lose the trade because you're trading around these red flags. Let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. Martha's asking if the breakout hit CP. So for the breakout 2.0, it still has not hit CP. It's like right down the middle. It didn't really move too much. And then for the breakout 1.0, I don't think it hit either. Let me check real quick. For the breakout 1.0, it's actually still in drawdown right now. Or am I tripping out? Yeah, it hasn't hit yet. So it's still in drawdown right now for the breakout 1.0, Martha. Still technically running. Both of them. So here's the thing with the breakout 1.0 guy, or the breakout in general, breakout 1.0 and breakout 2.0, they're typically supposed to hit profit target within a few minutes. We're already 5 minutes in, so it's not a good sign, right, for the breakout. That's why we don't typically use the breakout anymore, because I don't want to be caught in this position for like hours and hours on end and then not be able to take my scalps because all of my margin is eaten up. So I'm not in this breakout right here. It's still technically running, but we don't have anything at the moment. Yeah, Will said price is moving so weird to spread is high and barely any volume. Yeah, I agree, Will, 100%. You can see where price keeps bouncing off of, right? Price just keeps coming down to these lines that I have drawn up, these horizontal lines. So like this blue line here, which is opening price, you can see price has tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and it hasn't broken past it yet. It's broken past it, but not actually closed. Same with down here, right? Price came down, tested this green line, which is the New York high, and then again right here. So it tested it twice, and you can see that price just keeps bouncing off these areas. Like if I was to draw a couple blocks over here, you guys can see that price is just ranging right now. It's literally just ranging around this area. So I draw a block right there, and then I draw a block right here, and you can see that nothing's really happening, right? Price just keeps going back and forth, like literally back and forth. Yeah, so if I zoom out from here, you guys can see nothing's happening. So if I was going to turn off my indicators again, just to clean up the chart for you guys, this is not a good area to trade, right? This is not a good area to trade in at all, because price will just keep going back and forth from here. It'll come back, retest that area again, bounce off the line, and then come right back down. So there's no direction. You typically want to trade when price is actually moving. So for example, if price is moving above, then great, right? You see something like this, great. You take your buy right there, no brainer, right? Or, I mean, price could be going the opposite way down here. You see something like that, you take your sell, no brainer, right? Easy trades. But right now there's like nothing going on. As you guys can see, price is just going sideways, and this is the worst time to trade. So the only strategy that I'd recommend using during these types of conditions would be the SR rejection scalp. But majority of you guys don't know that unless you guys were around for like the past year. That was a strategy that we use a lot in the summer because the market does this a lot in the summer. It goes sideways. So that's a good strategy to use if you know it. If you don't know it, then I would just hold off and wait for one of these to come up. But there's your drawing right there. You guys can see there's no direction. Price comes up again. It just keeps going to the same areas. See how price is coming down right here? I wouldn't be surprised if price comes right back down, bounces off here again, and then comes right back up. All right, price is making an attempt to break about outside of this area, but what you want to make sure and wait for is for the candle to actually close, right? See how it just bounces off again? It's had 3 attempts right here. Fake out, fake out, fake out. This might be another fake out. You have about 15 seconds left on this candle. We'll see if this candle here actually closes above it. My guess is that it's probably not going to, or if it does, it might fake out again. It might go up out here slightly. It might trick you. So what might happen is it looks like, to me, it looks like it's trapping people. It's pushing up slightly above, and look how it comes right back down. So don't be a sucker, guys. Just wait for it to actually confirm. So like typically, if I'm looking for an entry here, I'm looking for it to break above, retest, and continue. Once it does that, then I'm convinced that price is going to keep pushing up. But right now, this could be another fake out where it just pushes out slightly and it comes right back down, right? I think eventually price will push up, but I think right now it's still faking out. And it's just doing this back and forth movement. So let me go ahead and clean this up real quick. Or actually, I'll leave that up for a second. And we'll see if this here fakes out like I anticipated. Let me go ahead and turn my indicators back on. Yeah, look where price rejected directly off purple line, right? So again, here's another example why I don't trade at these horizontal lines. Because at this point, you can get a ton of manipulation. Like price can either go up or it can stay below. But I'm not going to play with it, right? I'm going to let the market give me what I'm looking for before I enter any of these specific trades. Maria's asking if we have agreed momentum on the 5-minute. Yes, we do. Yeah, we do, Maria. Yeah, David said way too choppy. Definitely going to skip this type of rough waters. Yeah, I would probably just wait it out, guys. All right, so price is pushing up finally. Finally broke out of this box that I drew earlier. So let's see. It's price. It looks like the breakout 1.0 hit full TP, guys. So if you guys remember earlier, I marked the breakout 1.0. I'm pretty sure it blasted right through the TP already. So let me mark it up again real quick. It's almost there. I believe that's the candle right there. Yeah. So the breakout 1.0 is almost at full TP. Yeah, it did. So if you guys took the original breakout 1.0, it hit full TP right there. Breakout 1.0, full TP. So if you guys took it, great. That's a 500 pip win right there. I marked it up earlier for you guys. I just took it off to clean up the chart. But if you guys did take the breakout 1.0, it did blast right through it. Breakout 2.0 is almost on its way there. Here's a breakout 2.0 that I marked up for you guys. If you guys are in this position, I highly recommend you move your stop loss and profit. You know, don't get greedy today. You're already in profit so heavily. Move your stop loss and profit. Either move it below this current candle or just move it in profit. So if price ends up doing something weird, at least you've guaranteed, you know, some profit. So nice. Ruin said, thank you, Sean. Baller. Yes, you must have locked in some pretty good profit off that, Christian. Or Ruin. I keep forgetting if your name is Christian or not. I remember you told me your other name, but yeah, Ruin ended up, looks like you locked in some pretty good profit off that. So nice work. Martha is asking, how do you move your TP in profit? So if you're on MetaTrader, there's a red line there that shows your stop loss. You just drag it on the chart. So if you're on MetaTrader 4, there should be a red line there. You just drag your stop loss closer up. You can do that, or you can double click on your order and edit the order, and then just change the number so that it's above your opening price. There's a couple ways to do it. I think dragging is probably easier. So if you're on the computer, that's how you do it. Yeah. So if you see the red line on your MT4 screen, and you see where it's it'll say like stop loss. You just drag that up, click on it, drag it, and then pull it up above your entry point. So, or wherever you want to put it. It doesn't have to be at your entry point, but that's probably the best place to put it, unless you want to just close out in profit already. So you have like two options. You can either close out in profit, or you can move your stop loss in profit. For me personally, I'd probably close out in profit because price looks like it's going to come down and retest the purple line right here. You guys can see how market is super choppy right now. It's not really a good time to be taking, you know, risky trades. Yeah, right here you can see how price, it just came right back down. How many pips? From this point, came down about 500 pips, like within a couple seconds. So there's not really much of a certain direction yet. You can see price did push up. Now it faked out, came right back below. It's rejecting off the sessions again right here, the purple line. And we'll see if it continues up or if it continues dropping. Let's see, question from Allison. Allison's asking, any advice on ensuring an actual reversal in the 10-minute versus a deep retracement? I seem to be getting into trades too early, I believe. So one thing that you can use is the volume indicator, right? I think the volume indicator is probably the biggest indication here of direction. So looking at the volume indicator down here, well, there's a couple things here. Like, so for example, you want to look at the higher time frames, right? So looking over here on the higher time frames, the 1 hour and 30 minute, this is probably going to be one of the main things to look at first. You want to see if like price is rejecting off anything here, right? So like, for example, I can see over here on the 30-minute price is rejecting off the pivots. Same with the 1 hour, price is rejecting directly off the pivots, right? So if I see this indication here and this candle closes, like the candle hasn't closed yet, but it has about 5 minutes here on the 30, and then it has about 5 minutes here on the 1 hour. If we see this candle rejection off the pivot, then to me, this just shows me that price is coming down for retracement and it's going to bounce off the pivot, which it already did, and it's going to shoot right back up further, right? So that's one indication to identify if you think price is going to be reversing or not. Because if these here haven't reversed, odds of the 10-minute here is probably not going to reverse either. It's just pulling back super heavy. That's one way. Another way to do it as well, Allison, is to look at volume, right? So looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see the volume down below. If this volume here continues to be above average and it's red, so you get a big red bar here, big red bar here, big red bar here, right? Then if you see that and it just continues, then odds of it reversing are very likely because volume is very high on the sell side, right? If you see something like this where it's like a big red bar, a big green bar, big red bar, you can see that there's an issue right here. You know, right? There's no control, because if it was all red, then obviously the bears are in control and they're going to push for a reversal. However, you can see here that it's a big red. I mean, obviously this is on open, so you can't really, I mean, you can count it, but I wouldn't necessarily bank on that. But you can see a big red, a big green, big red. And then for my anticipation, I'm probably going to see this next one to be a big green as well. So you'll see red, green, red. You know, if you see that, there's a lot of uncertainty. And my guess is that price is just going to correct back up, because you tie this in with your analysis of the higher time frames here, 30-minute and 1 hour. You see the rejecting off the pivots right there. It's just a retracement. Price retraced down, rejected off it, rejected off it. Odds of it continuing back up are very likely. At least to finish out the breakout, right? At least to reach this point right here. That's from my perspective. And then, you know, as price continues to move along, that's where you can make the decision and increase your confluences. Like, so for example, here we have already identified it on the higher time frames, right? Now you can go on the lower time frames and you can look for the same thing. Here on the 10-minute right here, price is rejecting off the pivot. Here on the 5-minute, price is rejecting off the pivot. You're basically doing the same thing from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, right? Back over here on the 1 minute, you can do the same thing. Pull up the volume. Where's the volume going, right? Is it all red? Is it all green? We have it high green here, high red, high green, high red, and it's back to green. So again here, this just confirms that there's uncertainty in price and it's mixed. If it's all green, then great. You know, we're going to expect price to continue pushing up. If it's all red, then we'll expect price to continue pushing down. But at the moment, there's just no direction. Yeah, no problem, Allison. So I think those are the main things that you guys should look for when analyzing things. Go from the higher time frames and then make your way down, because the higher time frames will typically be controlling and the lower ones will follow unless there's an actual reversal happening. So, you know, let me see, I'm going to put checklist here. Checklist to confirm direction. So first, check time frames. 2, check higher time frames. 3, check volume. Aligns one direction. Check. And same thing, check trend on the lower time frames. Check price projections. On lower time frames. And 6, check volume. So this stuff isn't necessary, guys, but this is just the breakdown of like, if you're curious to see if like price is actually reversing or not, right? But it's not really necessary because since we're scalping, I mean, this stuff doesn't really matter. We don't care what's happening long term. Like we care what's happening short term, right? So like, I don't really care what's going on the higher time frames unless I'm holding it for like a breakout, right? If I'm holding a breakout, then yeah, of course, it's going to make sense for me to pay attention to it because I'm looking for this to actually hit. For me personally, since we're scalping here, a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. So for the most part, guys, you always don't have to worry about this. This is just looking at things from a higher perspective. You know, if you're holding on to a position for like a couple hours or a couple days, you know, the main things that you guys want to focus on is always going to be trend. So trend's going to be like the main thing so that you can catch, you know, a continuation or reversal. And then also, you also want to look at things like price projection off structure. But, you know, again, none of that stuff is really necessary if you guys are scalping with me here, because we only care what's happening right now. We don't care what's happening, you know, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours from now. I care what's happening at the moment. Yeah, Van Harwick said crazy movements. Yeah, 100%. Like you can see right here that price is pretty much like all over the place, right? Price pretty much spiked up, spiked down, spiked back up, spiked right back down. And look where price rejected from. Let me go ahead and turn off these indicators over here real quick. So check out where price rejected from. News price. See that red candle came right down to news price, bounced directly off it. And then price came back up, retested the sessions right here. And I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes all the way back up. Right? So we'll see. I think price is still bullish though. So just looking at everything here, I think price is still bullish in my personal opinion. No official entries right now, but I'm expecting price to push up higher. So I'm kind of looking for that breakout to eventually hit at some point. I mean, I don't know when it'll hit, but you know, eventually I'm expecting it to go and hit at some point. Yeah, we'll see. Again, right here, look where price rejected from off the purple line. So it's just, you guys can see, like, I keep trying to emphasize what the red flags are meant for, because I see a lot of people that don't really care about the red flags. But you know, I think as you guys progress as a trader, you guys will understand that it's more about preventing losses rather than locking in wins, right? Because you guys can lock in wins here and there. It's not difficult to lock in wins, but the real challenge here is to avoid losses. Because if you guys want to be a long-term consistent trader, you have to know when to avoid certain trades. So for me, I'm pretty conservative. Like, yeah, sure, I could win a lot of trades here, but since I've been avoiding these red flags here, I haven't had very many losses. If you guys have looked at my track record for the past couple of years, you know, I only have a couple losses throughout the entire year because I just avoid trades in general. And, you know, it just takes trial and error for you guys to really understand that. Yeah, Nick said huge zones on the 10-minute from the movement yesterday. Yeah, I agreed, like 100%. Yeah, Allison said, shit, y'all better care about them red flags because they'll sunk you and spin in you. spit you out and laugh. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the real thing, guys. Like I feel like the main thing for a lot of you guys here, like especially for the new traders, you guys get so focused on the profits that you don't focus on like what's really important. It's like avoiding losses. Because the thing is, when you're a consistent trader, guys, there's going to be ups and downs, right? You're going to have wins, you're going to have losses. But in order for you to like survive in trading, you have to understand when to just avoid trades in general. And for me personally, it's whenever a price gets near any of these horizontal lines. And I'm going to keep emphasizing that like forever, right? Because that's really what matters. Especially with this type of market that we're currently in, because there's no direction right now. You can see price just keeps going back and forth. It's not really easy to just take a buy and then hold on to it, hope and pray that it'll come in your direction. I think eventually it will push up though. So, don't let me discourage you if you're in a buy right now and you're holding on to it, because I do think it'll push up. It's just, you look over here on the 30-minute, the rejection off the pivot never closed, right? So if you guys remember from this previous candle over here, we were waiting for this to reject off the pivot. This thing actually never closed. If you look over here on the 1 hour though, it did close. So we have the rejection here. That's why I have hope that price will push up higher, but we don't have that confluence here on the 30-minute. I mean, we kind of do, but it's not very strong. It's rejecting off the yellow pivot, but it's not like a super clean rejection. The body's still touching it. So yeah, we'll see. It's just a matter of time until this stuff actually plays out. But at the moment, price is just so wishy-washy. There's no direction set. So we just got to sit tight and just wait. Again, you can see at this point over here, price is still stuck at opening price. Not too much direction. Martha said she tried to take the breakout and it was a massive loss. Not sure why. Well, good thing that you're on a demo, Martha, because this would have hurt if it was your real account. Let me see if I can figure out what you did here. So it's weird because it didn't even get close to stop loss. Did you move your stop loss in profit? Or did you try to move your stop loss in profit, Martha? I'm going to try to decipher like what happened here. So let me see your entry point. Okay, if you tried, you probably moved it incorrectly. If you moved it too close and then it just stopped you out. But let me try to see what you did here. So your entry price was 34,189. All right, I'm going to go here and I'm just going to put a chart over here to show you what happened. 34,189.90. Well, let's put 34,189. Okay, so the pricing here is obviously, I don't think it'll line up, but I'm going to try to figure out like where your entry is. 34,189. I know the pricing is different here for YM, but let me just put your stop loss. I just want to see where you got stopped out. 33.89. Oops. 33.89.0. And your profit target was 34,216. Okay, so obviously your price here is not proper. I don't even know what happened to your trade here. Let me check real quick. So your stop loss was at 34,155. Huh. I don't know what happened to your trade here. It looks like your stop loss was like way far off. So the pricing here doesn't matter, but I'm looking at your entry price and then comparing it to like, or actually let me change this real quick. 34,189. Okay, so yeah, looking at this right here, like this is what your range was. It looks like you moved your stop loss into the wrong area because your stop loss, and let me just see if I can maximize this a little bit. Let's go on the 10-minute time frame. I'll go on the 5, it's easier. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example of like what you did here, Martha. So this was your entry, right? Um, I don't know why your TP was so far off. Your TP was like 80 pips away. Your TP should have been 50. If, well, depending on which, like, I don't know which breakout you're doing. Were you doing the breakout 2.0? Okay, so your TP stop loss should have been 1,000 each. So for some reason, when you set up your trade, your TP was only set at 79. It should have been at 100, like it was over here, right? This is the breakout 2.0. It's still technically running. So it should have been at 100, 100. You're either using a 1,500 or a 1,000 pip TP. For this here, we gauge the market right here. That's why I set it to 100. Looking at your market over here, or at your data on the trade that you sent in, your TP was only at 79. And this is where you got stopped out at 34. Okay, Rashida said that your lot size was too high. So what account size are you on? Martha, sorry, I just want to. Oh no, so it looks like her lot size is fine, Rashida, or no, her lot size is fine because she's on a 200K account. Her max drawdown would be like 10K. So if she got margin called out, she'd have like a 10K loss. So she didn't get margin called out on that. I think so. What happened here is, for one, you put your TP at like, well, this doesn't matter. This doesn't affect your position at all because it never even reached that point. But I just want to point out like a couple of things that you kind of did incorrectly. So your TP should have been at 100. So in the YM data, it doesn't matter because you're executing your trade on MT4. So the data here doesn't have any play in it. If you use a quick trade manager, you should have set your stop loss at 10,000 within the points box and then 10,000 within the TP box. That's going to set it to 100 points, which is 1,000 pips. So for one, your TP here was a bit off because it should have been at 100. I'm just looking at your price. I'm putting the price in. And then the reason why you got stopped out is because I think you moved your stop loss too close. So originally your trade was set at 79.79. I believe this is what your trade was set up as, right? And then when you tried to move your stop loss in profit, what you did is, instead of moving your stop loss all the way up above in profit, because you're supposed to move your stop loss up here, your stop loss should have been pushed up to this point right here, right? That's where your stop loss should have been. So if price came down, you would have gotten stopped out in profit. But what you did here was you moved your stop loss to 34. That's where your mistake was. Instead of moving your stop loss like way up, you moved it down to right here. And by doing that, let me just give you the full range again. Okay, so this is your original stop loss. You're supposed to move it up here. But what you did is you just dragged it up to right here. And by dragging it to right there, when price retraced down slightly, it stopped you out. And that's why you have a negative, because you moved your stop loss, like you moved it to the wrong place. You can see over here on the 10-minute price kind of came down a little bit. And that's where you got stopped out, Martha, because you moved your stop loss right here. So you basically just put it like you didn't move it in profit, you just moved it too close. And that's how you got stopped out. Does that make sense? So yeah, good thing you're on a demo. You're still practicing and understanding how things work. Yeah, you should have never moved it up. That should have just been the thing. If you didn't move it up, you still be in profit right now because price is back up. So if you don't understand how to move your stop loss and profit, this is a good time to practice because you're on a demo. You're still learning how to do things. But in general, if like you don't know what you're doing, like in the future when you have a live account, just don't move your stop loss and profit. Just close it out and just exit it out so that you can make profit on the move. Okay, guys. So back to the 1 minute. Sorry, let me get back to the charts. Yes, so this right here, or actually it's not, because so for one, it's at the opening price. That's like the main thing. So I personally would not have taken this failure, momentum scout failure, because it's at a red flag. However, if you were still applying this as a regular trade, then yeah, technically this would be a momentum scout failure that's currently running right now. Not one I would take because it's at the red flag, but yeah, if you wanted to take it as is, then it would be a momentum scout failure. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, no problem, Martha. Glad I could help you with that. If you guys have any questions like that, always feel free to ask, guys. I'm here to help you guys out. So if there's something that you guys are confused about, or if you guys aren't sure why you lost a trade, just let me know and I'll break it down for you. It's better that you guys ask the questions and figure out what you did wrong. So in the future, you don't make the same mistake. Trading is all about trial and error. So it's okay to make mistakes. If you're still new to trading, just use a demo account and make your mistakes. And then I'll explain to you what could have been done differently. And then you'll be better off moving forward. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, Maddie said it looks like price is just going to range until news. Yeah, I can see that too, Maddie, until here at 7:30. Let's see if there's anything else over here for me to look at. I think that's it for right now. All right, so if this candle here closes above the pivots, it's technically a momentum scalp variation. So just keep that in mind, guys. If it closes above, it's not going to be an official entry though, because as I mentioned earlier, it's at a red flag, right? Opening price. So unfortunately, the first trade over here, the momentum scalp failure, it's not one that I would have taken because it was at a red flag, but it's still an entry. So it's still technically running. If you were to just take it as is. Let me see if I can find this over here. Trying to see if this will play out. So you guys will see it. You guys probably are wondering what I'm doing. I'm taking some speculative moves here that I don't recommend you guys take. I know it's at a red flag, but the reason why I'm kind of confident with this entry over here playing out is because it is right at the, so we have a momentum scalp failure running right here. And that one just hit my TP. Okay, nice. So there's a momentum scalp failure running right there. And I basically caught like the last 10 pips of it, right? I entered late basically. And I'm about to have my second one right here too. All right, so I'll take a screenshot of my profits, guys. What I did here, and I don't recommend you guys do this unless you guys are confident and are familiar with like what I'm doing here. But basically what I did here is I took a late entry. When price came back up here for the momentum scalp failure, I wasn't going to take it because it was at the red flag. But now that price pushed up further and continued to push up, I entered it for a late entry. And then I also entered this one over here as well. This price came, I know it was at the sessions, but, and I don't recommend you guys take trades like this, but if you guys are confident with your move, then it should play out. Because as I mentioned before, these red flags here that I take, these are not required, right? This is optional. If you guys feel confident about your move, you guys are okay with taking you guys can still take these trades. It's just these red flags make you, sorry, I'm using my thing. It's just that when the market moves like this, you want to make sure that you are analyzing everything. So for example, here I analyzed this because I saw this as a momentum scalp failure, but I said I wasn't going to take it because of the red flag, right? But when price came back below and shot back up, I was like, okay, it's coming back to complete the move, which it did. It came up, completed the move right here and hit TP. I'm not going to count the trade as a win or as an actual trade because obviously I didn't tell you guys to take it. And I don't want you guys to violate your red flags here if you guys are following this. But I felt confident about this move here because price came up, filled the move, and as it pushed up right here, I just hit buy on my quick trade manager, shot straight to TP, and then I locked in that profit. And then I tried to lock in this one right here too, but I was too late to pushing this up. So this one right here, guys, was a momentum scalp failure. And don't worry, I'm not going to count any of these trades towards results because obviously I want to be transparent with you guys. This wasn't an official trade because of the red flags. I just took this out of my own personal personal opinion because I figured that I was going to push up and blast right through it, which it did. So I took this trade here, hit my TP, and then I was trying to hop into this one right here, but I was too late to hop into the trade. So we have another one here that's possibly running, but it's going to be past the pivots. So again, right here, this might be another momentum scalp failure, but it's at the opening price again, this blue line. So not really looking to take this right now specifically if it does close. Let me check the other time frames real quick. Yeah, so everything here is still pretty bullish. Bullish on the 10, bullish on the 5. So I still think price is going to push up. That's like direction right there. All right, so let me close out of this. All right, fuck it, I'll get out. All right, so I tried to what happened was I accidentally had a pending order here still. I should have just held on to it. It would have went over. As I was mentioning earlier, I was trying to get into this, but I was too late. I put a pending order there. Price already went past it, didn't fill it. Price came back down below and it shot back up. And then it filled my order and pulled me out. Well, I pulled out manually. Locked in 1,570 off the first one, the momentum scalp failure. And then I locked in 1,000 off this one right here. None of these trades are going to count as official trades, guys. So don't worry. These are just trades that I've taken on my own. Went off my own analysis. This one right here was the first one I took, and this one right here was the second one I took. But this one was like super late. What I was doing here was I was trying to enter the trade when it pushed up. I put a pending order there, and then I wasn't able to set my TP stop loss because it was a pending order. And then when it pushed up right here, I just closed out manually. So again, guys, there's no official trades for today so far. There's just a couple trades that played out. There were trades following this strategy, but I was ignoring the red flags. So as you guys can see, you guys can avoid the red flags when you want to, but to be on the safer side, you guys should probably just follow the red flags. The only reason I thought price was going to be okay is because I've been analyzing everything for you guys here. I think analyzing things for Allison here, showing her that price was going to continue up higher, gave me the confidence to take basically the buys that came up on the lower time frame. So I already identified this as price to push up higher. And then when I saw this come back up right here, I took the momentum scalp failure, took a profit target on that. And then I tried to enter this late, but price already hit TP, ended up pulling down. And then my pending order when price pushed up again right here filled. And then I closed it out manually. So let me take a screenshot of my profits. Let me see if my copier took them. Fuck, it didn't. Okay, it's okay. I just have one account with profits today. I think I messed up on my copier. Which is all good. I just missed out on I think an extra 4K because of those other accounts. Hold on 1 second, guys. I had to log into this account on my gotta log on to this on my phone real quick. The weird thing is that I got a green strip on the second trade and I actually closed it out manually. Oh, no, never mind. I take that back. Sorry. It was a different. All right. So this is my account so far, guys. Let me post it up real quick. I just took 2 trades. My copier wasn't working because obviously I accidentally put it on my thing. I had to change my copier to my MC4. I mean, my MFF, and I wasn't able to lock in. But these are my trades right here. So for the first trade over here, For the first trade over here, this is where I locked in the green strip, locked in 1,080. That's from this momentum scalp failure. And then this one over here is the one that filled and had to close manually. That's why I locked in 1,500, but no green strip, because I just closed that out manually. This is the one that filled a little later. The pending order was there, but it didn't fill until like a bit later. Nice. Maddie caught it. Natasha caught a couple. Solid guys. Yeah. Allison said good moves. Learned something new today. Yeah, definitely. Will said just took a trade now. It came back up. Nice. Okay, so some of you guys here took some trades off my analysis. That's completely fine. But just an FYI, there's no official trades yet, guys. So don't worry if you guys haven't taken anything. If you guys are being conservative and you're waiting for like just, you know, those solid entries to come up, don't worry because they haven't come up yet. These over here are just speculative trades. I mean, these were technically an entry. First one here was a momentum scalp failure. It was one that was on a red flag, so not really an official trade per se. It's just one that played out and I ended up entering it late. And then this one right here was from the momentum scalp variation here, but I set a pending order with no TP stop loss. So I pretty much got the order filled and then I manually closed it out right there. So I just want to show you guys that, you know, there's ways that you guys can make profit, even if they're not official entries. But until you guys are at that level where you guys can take trades like this, don't take those trades. Just wait for these official entries to come up. I mean, they're technically official strategies, but the main thing is that there were red flags there, which I tried to instill you guys to avoid trades around those areas. But in some cases, it'll actually play out. So that's why it's okay to take if everything lines up with your analysis. Going down real quick, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Let me just put a small description. And all right. Yeah, what's up with my mouse? All right, so a couple of profits over here from Patrick. So Patrick over here made his first profit. He took a breakout for 250 pips. Total profit right here, he locked in 1,021. Nice work, Patrick. And then Patrick took another trade over here. He took a couple more, basically the two trades I took as well. Total profit of 1,642 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. We have the other Patrick over here, Patrick Stevens, total profit of 3,592 for the day. All wins as well. Nice work, Patrick. Eunice over here didn't take any trades yet. Solid work on the consistency there, Eunice. You know, just keep in mind, guys, not everyone took trades. Just a couple people here who know what they're doing and who are taking trades off my analysis, but not everyone took trades. Scrolling down a little further. Sisuk over here is up 2,950. Nice work, Sisuk. We got Maddie over here, total profit of 135. He took an initial loss and then bounced back on that next trade. Solid work right there, Maddie. And we have Maddie over here, more profits, 580 for the day now. Took that second trade I took. Jenny over here posted her profits, total profit of 753 for the day, all wins. She took trades in the direction of the bias. Will over here as well. Slippage worked in his favor, total profit of 171 for the day. Nice work, Will. Maddie over here. Nice work, Maddie. Alan over here, total profit of 124 for the day. Nice work. Alan took a couple trades over here for US30 this morning. All right, that's good. We have Vincent over here said market's being super weird today. Yeah, I agree. Vincent on his first trade, 82.24. Nice work right there, Vincent. And then Vincent's second trade over here locked in a total profit of 133. So solid work right there. Thanks, Vincent. Yeah, hopefully I'm off of this cold by next week. Rashid over here took a couple trades. I think she hopped into the same ones I took earlier right now as well with his full TP. Total profit of 980 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. Christopher over here locking a total profit of 2,480. Looks like he held on to that buy from earlier. Nice push to the upside. Great work, Christopher. Yeah, it looks like he took the breakout. So this entry he took at 630, he held on to it, and then he pretty much pulled out or hit his TP once price reached that price point. Patricia over here as well, currently at 4,760 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. One loss, but she made it right back on that next trade. So not bad, guys. Solid work across the board so far. Ensong over here as well, currently up 510 for the day. Took a couple buys on the way up. So this is what I mean, guys. If you guys listen to my analysis from earlier this morning, I mentioned that I thought price was going to keep pushing up if we got these confirmations, right? There's another confirmation right here on the 30-minute and 1 hour. So you can see price is pushing down right here. If price rejects off these pivots again and it closes, then I'm expecting price to push up even higher from that point. We do have news coming up shortly, so I wouldn't recommend taking any trades at this time, especially if you guys are funded. Definitely don't risk it. So let me see other profits here. Natasha over here as well. She said took a loss because she forgot to change her stop loss on the breakout and got stopped out, but she made it right back. So nice recovery right here, Natasha. Swung right back. Total profit of 212. Unfortunately, took that loss right there on the breakout, but that could have played out nicely if you didn't accidentally forget to change your stop loss. But it's all good. It happens. So solid work right there, Natasha. CT over here currently up about 3,000 for the day. Nice work, CT. And I think that's it for right now. Let me go ahead and check out the messages in the chat real quick. So let me scroll up. So let's see. Pam said something went wrong. Traded disabled. Let's see. Other Pam said, hi, Sean. Using the FTO1 demo account, I haven't taken any trades since opening because I'm still trying to learn, but I wanted to try to buy and get this error. Do you know what this to do to enable a trade? So it says your trade is disabled. Check out your FTMO account. Pam, log on to the FTMO website. I think because maybe you haven't been using the demo for a long time since you opened it, they might have just canceled your account. So you can probably start a new trial. So go on to the FTMO website, check your trial, and then see where it says result under free trial. It'll either say ongoing or it'll say passed or it'll say failed. If it says passed or failed, then it's probably going to say failed because it hasn't started yet. Then you're able to start a new trial account. So I know what people here are trying to tell you about the tools. That's like if it says that if like it says a different error message. I know which one you're talking about because they updated their settings. So you do have to update that for something else. But looking at your screenshot over here, it says trade is disabled. It looks like your account is disabled altogether. So I'd recommend going to the FTMO website, just log on to ftmo.com, go to your client area, and then look at your trial. And then it'll say balance, end date, and then result. Because I think the trial only lasts a couple of days. Yeah, it's 14 days. So it's a 14-day trial. If you haven't started it within 14 days, then it probably would have just ended. So you can go ahead and just start another free trial. So you just go to free trial, try again for free, and then you create a new account. I think it's been 14 days since you signed up. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, it's definitely been a while. It's okay because the free trials, you can open as many as you like. You just got to wait for that first one to end. Thanks, Peter. Peter sent me this link. He said, watch live. Senate Foreign Affairs Committee holds a hearing on U.S.-China policy and competition. So this might be causing price to kind of spike around as well. Yeah, Maddie said open price is a magnet today, literally. Yeah, I agree. Natasha said she's demanding one good trade. Same here. Maddie said price dropped heavy before news. Rashida said the breakout was scary. No, I agree 100%. Maddie said risky day to day. I hope new people are listening to you and say it's not, say it is not recommended. Only do it if you know what you're doing. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. Today's a super risky day, guys. If you guys have seen the market, so let me go ahead and take off the indicators again. So I'm gonna take off the indicators real quick. And let me just mark up news price right here as well. So news price is right there. So as I was mentioning before, guys, market opened right here at 6:30. And as you guys can see, there's like no direction at all. Like there's legit no direction. Price just been going back and forth all throughout the day. Price kind of came down a little bit, shot up, came back down, shot back up, came back down. And I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes back up to opening price right there, right? That's like target price point right now. If price ends up going up. So, you know, we'll see where this ends up going, but that's basically where I see price typically pushing up to, if it does push up high, which I do expect it to. It's just going to be a matter of time until it does. So yeah, today's a super messy market. If you guys are new, you guys probably don't understand what we're talking about, but the reason why we think it's messy is because there's no direction. Typically when market opens right here at 6:30, price will generally, it'll do this. So when price opens like this, it typically pushes up, retraces, and continues. That's like one of the directions. Or then, for example, if it does the opposite direction, price will come down, retrace, and continue down there, right? That's typically what happens. We don't have any of that yet. Price is kind of just going back and forth. But looking over here from my analysis, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn everything back on. I can kind of analyze to see where price is likely to go for the day. Like maybe not right now specifically, but for the day, I do think price is still bullish. And the reason for that is because looking over here on the higher time frames, look at the rejection here on the 30 minutes, it's rejecting off the pivot, right? So I think in the next 30 minutes when this candle closes, as long as it establishes that it's closed and the rejection is as established there, it'll probably push up higher. You know, these higher time frames, they don't move as often as the short time frames, but if you look at this from this perspective, we have a rejection off the 30-minute. We have a rejection off the 1 hour. So basically what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to reject off it. I'm looking for a green candle. That's going to confirm that price is going to be bullish because the bulls are going to be in control. But looking over here on the lower time frames, we have the opposite, right? Price is actually below. So we might have price drop down a little bit, but I think eventually by, you know, later today or by the end of the session, I think price will correct back up and it'll remain bullish. It'll at least close above opening price. So I think by today, price will at least close above opening price. Might not be super high, but I think at least above this blue line, that's where price will be by the time of market close today. But unfortunately, because we don't have an alignment of direction, we can't take any of these trades here, right? Because if you look over here for all of these strategies, the first requirement is to confirm the overall trend. So until we confirm the overall trend here, we're not going to have any entry for us to take. So we need everything here to be bullish. Right now, in the 1 minute, price is currently bearish because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. However, looking over here on the 5 minute, we have the same thing, right? It's more on the neutral side, but it's still kind of bearish. The last one that we're worried about here would be the 10 minute. Like the 10 minute is the one that really needs to be above here. So we need the 10 minutes to be above this point here. Until we get that, we're not going to have any confirmation of trend, right? The 5 minute here is bearish. 1 minute here is bearish. The only way for us to take a trade here is we need the 10 minutes to either be below here or above here. It's 7:37 right now, so we have about 20 minutes until 8 o'clock. So if we don't have anything from now until then odds of it pushing to those areas are very unlikely. Price is right down the middle right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So anyways, There's no direction of price here. I think long-term price will still be bullish, but on the short term over here, we don't have a confirmation of direction yet. I mean, target price point for this, if price does push back up, is going to be opening price, of course. But we don't have that yet. So price ends up swinging up. Target price point obviously is going to be, opening price. Yeah, Christian said everything is on a red flag. Yeah. Maddie said the whole market is a red flag. Yeah, there's no areas here for us to really trade in, right? So if you look over here, I mean, as we've been looking at, there just isn't anything for us to take, unfortunately. There's news down here, sessions right here. Target price point for me here, if price does push back up, is going to be opening price. But at the moment, we don't really have anything on right now. Price just keeps going back and forth. There's no failure right here, Rashida, because there's no overall trend. So in order for us to have a failure here, we would need price to have we need price to be above the pivots, right? So overall trend here, if we're looking for if we have a sell signal, in order for there to be a failure, price needs to be above the pivots on the 1 minute. It needs to be above the pivots on the 5 minute, and it needs to be above the pivots on the 10 minute. So we don't really have any direction right now at all. Price is kind of just going back and forth. If price stays below here, though, then if we get another buy signal, Rashida, then that could be an actual momentum scalp failure. But you can see where price is currently at. It just keeps going back and forth. There's no clear direction here. The 5 minute here is below. This one's below. And the 10 minute here is kind of just going sideways. Yeah, Maddie said if you made any profit this week, that's good profit. It's tough market this week. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the more difficult weeks that we've been trading this whole month, guys. Last week wasn't horrible. I think last week was okay. It was choppy, but there was some direction. Like we'd wait until like the end of the session, like right now, 740, 750, and then there was actual direction at that point, right? But for today, it looks like there's like no direction at all. Price just keeps going back and forth. You can see here, it's pretty obvious from 5 minutes, super messy. You see all the wicks right here. Price just keeps going up and down. There's no upwards direction or downwards direction. The thing with this, guys, is that you guys have to understand that the market will do this sometimes. And when days like this come along, you have to understand that this is probably the best day for you guys to stay out of the market. So you don't have to trade every single day unless you see something that that looks like it's going to play out. If you see something that falls within your trading plan, then you can take a trade. But, from this perspective here, it's not a good time to enter anything really. There's maybe a couple of SR rejection scalps. Let me see if I can find any here. Yeah, there's actually a couple of SR rejection scalps here. I don't typically teach this to any of the new traders, but specifically for Jenny, because she asked about this the other day, what's the best strategy to trade when price is going sideways? I can mark up a couple here. There's one right here. Another one right here. There's two of them right there, actually. So yeah, one right here. Full TP. And then another one right here. Another full TP as well. Yeah, but it's not, I mean, if you guys look at the market, there's like nothing for us to take right here. Obviously. But yeah, just looking over there at the SR rejection scalp. If you guys are not familiar with that strategy, there's no needs for you guys to like look into it unless you guys really want to. The strategy is available on the course. We also covered it during the last mentoring session. So see where that thing's at. So let me pull up the course real quick. So just a reminder, guys, if you guys are part of the mentorship this month, you don't have to look at any of this stuff, but if you guys are curious and you guys want to see what this strategy is about, you guys can pull up the course. So this is the course right here. The strategy that I just referred to is called the SR rejection scalp. And if you look down here, it's going to be under KT Trades SR rejection scalp strategy. This is the one that I just mentioned right now. This strategy is good in a sideways market. So if the market's moving sideways, this is the strategy we typically apply. I mean, right now we're in February, so the market's not supposed to be going sideways. It's just, I mean, we're just in a mess today, or for this entire week. But generally, February is a good month where price moves directional. Typically, from January up until May, the market moves directional. But for today and for these past couple of weeks, market has just been going sideways, which isn't the best type of market to be trading in, of course. And then when the market does move like this, the way to trade it would be applying the SR rejection scalp, the strategy that we use typically during the summer. But I think for this year so far, I'm just going to stick to these strategies here so that you guys can follow something in line. Yeah, Christian said Biden got angry yesterday. Maybe that's the reason it's choppy. I know, right? One second, guys. All right, let me pull up the YouTube real quick. So I kind of like skipped over this. So Random is asking, what about gold? So are you looking at gold from a short-term perspective, Random, or are you looking for it on a higher perspective? So let me know if you're looking at it from either of those, and I'll analyze it for you. Whether you're looking at it on a higher time frame for intraday or swing, or if you're looking at it for scalping, because I mean I can analyze it both ways, the same thing. Just looking at it here from a short-term perspective, you can see that it's bearish, right? So I would obviously be looking for a sell here. The reason why it's bearish and trend is bearish is because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down on the 1 minute. We have the same thing here on the 5. Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. And same with here on the 10. You can see that price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. So I'd be looking for sell entries here on the short term. I wouldn't necessarily just enter a sell at any moment, but I would be looking for a sell, and your target price point is going to be this Asia low right here. So that's target price here for gold on the shorter time frame. You can see prices coming down. It's probably going to come and hit it. I already have the line there marked up from my indicator. So that's a short-term analysis of it there. If you're trading it on the higher time frame, I don't typically trade gold, guys, so it's not really my cup of tea. But looking here as well in the higher time frame is also bearish. So I obviously would definitely be looking for a sell here. Price rejecting off the pivot there, price rejecting off the pivot there, price rejecting off the pivot there. If this here closes in the next 13 minutes, it's probably going to continue dropping. So looking here on the 1 minute, I'm expecting price to drop further to at least test this Asia low right here. Let's see, Barack said, good day, I'm blocked from using C-Trader, something about US regulations. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, Barack, because I don't use it myself. But yeah, it looks like you're not able to use C-Trader anymore. Scrolling down further, let's see. Mr. Elton is asking, is Quick Trade Manager not available for the demo challenge? It is. If you're in the course, you can get access to it. You just have to, well, I mean, if you're in the course, you'll have here, I'll show you in the course. If you have, you can't get access to it unless like you have someone give you the download for it. But if you have access to the strategies course here, so in order to get the Quick Trade Manager here, you just go down to module 2, basics, MetaTrader 4 platform. You click on that there. I have a video here explaining how to install FTMO Quick Trade Manager on Mac, and then commonly used tools and the directions for installing FTMO Quick Trade Manager on MT4. So I have the download right here. You just click on FTMO Quick Trade Manager, MT4 zip. You click on that, it'll give you the file, and then there's directions here how to install it. Once you have this installed, you can use it on a demo account. But you have to have, I mean, you have to be part of the course to get that. or you can find someone to give it to you, but it's going to be hard to find someone who's just going to give you the download. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So I guess my voice is getting worse as my cough continues to linger. Anyways, yeah, Brock. So I guess C-Trader does not work for US clients anymore. It's kind of like same with this over here. So if you're trying to use the sentiment here, IG sentiment, IG is no longer with US clients anymore. So there's also a thing here that says you have to click that you're not a US resident to use it. All right. Mr. Elton's asking, how much does it cost to join the course? It's free. That's the best part. You just have to go on the website. So you just go to the website, you click on unlock your free access, and that's how you would get access to it. So it's part of the free course and it's also part of the paid course. If you want access to the indicators, you're gonna have to pay for that. But if you just want access to the free intro course, you just click on this free access right here, Mr. Elton, and then you can get access to your trade manager. Just go to kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access, and then get access there. But if you want access to the strategies and the indicators, then you have to pay for that. Just go on the website. There's pricing there. Just go on the website right here, click on pricing. But you don't have to pay for anything. YouTube's free. The only thing you have to pay for would be the Zoom. Obviously, if you want real-time Zoom, you got to pay for that. And then, sorry, 1 second, guys. Yeah, so if you want to pay for it, it's $250. You'll get access to all the indicators, so you can apply all these strategies on your own time. Strategies, you'll have access to the strategies, the indicators, mentorship, all that stuff. But if you just want access to the free stuff, just click on free access and you'll have access to the course. But so you'll be able to learn the strategies, but you won't be able to actually apply them because you need the indicators, obviously. So yeah, if you want access to it, just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, and then click on pricing. You either have pricing for the Zoom if you want real-time Zoom, or you can have pricing for the indicators if you want that too. So there's an entry right here, Rashida. I don't know if you saw it for the, actually, never mind, take that back, sorry. The volume here is above average. I was going to mention the momentum scalp failure because you were mentioning that earlier. This right here is a green candle. So it's technically, it would have been if the volume wasn't above average, but it was super above average, so it wouldn't be an entry there. However, it is a green momentum signal. So the reason we were looking at that there is because looking at the other time frames here, everything is bearish, right? Except for the 10. The 10 here isn't very clean yet. So I don't know if I'd necessarily look for any sells just yet. It's 7:51 right now, so the market's going to get even more rangy in the next couple, minutes or so. See if there's anything else here for me to look at. There's just nothing for us to take right now, guys. This is like the worst market that we've had in a while. For the day, I think this is probably worse than yesterday. Actually, no, yesterday was pretty much worse because there was like no direction. At least here, price is starting to push down. However, it's not really doing much. Yeah, Maddie said MT4 closed. I'll see you tomorrow. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, Song said you need another bowl of full holic, Sean. Yeah, I know, right? I need to go get some more pho. Yeah, this cold is killing me. I hate being sick. This is why I don't really like to travel too much, guys, because whenever I travel, I always come back sick. If you guys remember the last time I traveled, I was in like Chicago. It's too cold out there. And I came back and I was super sick. Let's see. D's asking, just realized you have to pay for data. My chart always looks weird, but there's delay. Yeah, so if you guys are using YM and you guys aren't paying for it, you guys will see up here that it's yellow and it'll say delayed. I think you're delayed like 10 minutes. So for YM, you have to pay for it to have this real-time data. The reason you have to pay for it is because you're getting this data directly from the exchange. So you have like the fastest data. If you guys are scalping, this is absolutely necessary, right? Because you don't want to miss moves and you want to have the best data to trade off. If you guys are trading live with me, it's not really necessary because I have the screen up for you guys. However, if you want to have access to it, you guys can always just, pay the fee. I think it's $4 a month, $60 a year to have access to it. And I think it's worth it because, I'll pay $4 a month and I'll be able to lock profits in like this. So, those $4 go a long way. However, if you guys don't want to pay for it, you guys can still use currency.com data. It's not going to be the same as mine, but this is the secondary data. The volume here is not going to be good. I wouldn't depend on volume because you look how the volume here is like super messy. It's always high, right? You don't have like good data. If you're on the YM, the volume here is actually accurate because you're getting the data from the exchange. So that's why you have to pay extra for it because you're getting the raw data from the actual exchange. But if you guys don't need that and you guys are on my live session, I pretty much have the charts open for you guys. So you don't have to pay for it specifically if you're just focusing on my charts. However, if you guys want to, there's always the ability to get it if you wanted it. So let me scroll down a little further. Yeah, Martha said yes. If you don't get your charts looking like Sean's, you will be confused. That's how I was. Yeah, I know it's difficult to see where price is going if you don't have my indicators, right? I created these indicators for that specific reason so that you guys can see exactly what's going on the chart. This is what a chart normally looks like, but if you turn on my indicators here, you guys can see that it makes a huge difference because you guys can easily see, the trend meter down below is red. So you're like, okay, price is obviously coming down. When trend meter is green, you're like, okay, price is obviously going up. It makes things a whole lot easier. That's the whole reason I created this system for you guys so that you guys can use it to your advantage. So, all right, guys, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, unfortunately, there's no official trades for today. I did lock in some profits, but none of those trades are going to count towards the results because none of them were official trades. There were trades that came up using the strategies, but they were under red flags. Like, for example, the momentum scalp failure I took earlier over here, there was an obvious red flag, so it's not going to count as a trade. I just took it because I felt comfortable with it and I had a feeling that price was going to push up. Main reason was because I looked here on the higher time frames. I saw the rejection here on the 30, saw the rejection here on the 1 hour, and I figured, okay, price is probably going to push up at least a little bit to, hit TP on that specific trade. So that's why I took that trade myself. But not everybody's at that level where they can take trades when red flags are present. Like for right now, this whole area is a red flag. Right? There's a sessions there, news price, opening price. Sessions right there. It's just not a good area to be trading in unless you guys are really absolutely sure that you know where price is going. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wrap this up again. Unfortunately, this whole week's been kind of trash. So hopefully the next week's gonna be a lot better, or hopefully even tomorrow. Let's see. Let me check the calendar for tomorrow. We have prelim UOM consumer sentiment tomorrow, prelim UOM inflation expectations, and Fed member Waller speaking. So tomorrow we have some high impact news, basically inflation news tomorrow. It's going to affect the market heavily, hopefully in our favor, where it'll cause price to go one way or the other. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's it for today. I don't recommend trading because there's just no direction right now. I don't think there's any other news today. Let me check real quick. Let me refresh this. Yeah, we don't really have any other news today. So I think price will just keep going back and forth for the rest of the session until it actually, decides on where it wants to go. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. Telegram is going to be the fastest way to get in contact with me. My username is @KodiKaiTrades. And I think that's about it. Let me see if there's any other profits here. So we got Fern over here, total profit of 93.17. Nice work, Fern. It's like Fern over here trading while at work. And then we got Eunice over here. He took one trade. He's currently up 62.50 for the day. Nice work, Eunice. And I think that's about it. So unless you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up for the day. If you guys don't have to trade, I don't recommend you guys trade. I just come back tomorrow fresh, and then we'll be able to catch some trades as we close out this week. So, all right, guys, other than that, I'll see you guys then.